Morning, guys. About 6 o'clock or so in the morning. Figured I'd come out to the shop, start a fire before I head to work. And when I get out of work, at least the chill will be out of here. Got a little bit of everything in there. There's a piece of oak, a piece of maple, a piece of cherry, and some I don't know stuff. But looks like it's burning pretty good. Leave that bottom open for a while so she can suck through. Figured I'd talk about some stuff while I'm letting the shop warm up. Quite a bit of interest in this little guy. The one I did for my buddy and this one's mine. I had a blast working on these and hopping them up. I did do a 24-inch bar test video that a lot of you guys are commenting on. This is the size clutch that them things have. It's just teeny weeny. I really don't recommend you guys doing that because it is mega hard on your clutch. I mean, here's the size clutch like on most normal size saws that I would say are capable of running that size bar. There's a huge difference. But I just did that video just to see, just out of my morbid curiosity, to see what kind of torque I got out of 25 cc's, and yeah, it seemed to be quite a bit for what that saw is. I was impressed. I was surprised it pulled it. My buddy got his back. He loves it, says it's an animal. This one does have different port work than that one. Numbers aren't, well, his I think was 105. I'd have to look back through the video or whatever. It's on video. I remember his exhaust was at like 105, I think. And this one's at 103, and I know this one's at 75 on the intake. But I did piston modifications and went pretty hog wild on the transfers and on the case halves of the engine. This thing runs really well. In fact, it really could use a bigger carburetor. I've got the high speed jet backed out as far as, well, it's, I don't know, probably 3-4 turns out on the high side just to try to get enough fuel. I checked the plug. It's not lean, so I'm not going to worry about recarbing it, but I have a feeling there's more in here if I could get a different carburetor, or maybe rejet this carb or put a different nozzle in it. I don't know, it might be a future build, but at this point I would say it's the carburetor's the limiting factor on this saw right here. What I did to it's really wanting more fuel. This one gets probably twice as bad as fuel consumption as that one I did for my buddy. It really don't take long to run a tank out. But I mean, you get more power, they eat more fuel. Not much I can do about it. This was a toy. I had so much fun with this. In fact, I did order a rear handle model of one of these. It should be in any week, any day. I'm expecting it any time, and I will be hot rodding that on the channel. And I don't know if I'll go to the extent that I did on this one. I might do the build like I did for my buddy's other one. This is my stock 500. I'm itching really bad to port this because I have that other ported one, and I mean, coming off that experimental 7310 and then picking this up, it just feels like I went to an 036 or something. It's unbelievable the difference. This saw runs fine and everything, but I'm itching bad to port it. But when I do port this one, I think I'm going to go a different route. So I'll have two different versions of a ported 500 that we can compare. But I'm going to hold off on porting this because I got another deal in the works. I'm supposed to be doing some horse trading, and I'm supposed to be getting a tree smashed MS462. Guess it still runs, but I guess it just pours gas out of it like crazy. I think the tank's busted up. I'm hoping there's not much else wrong with it other than that. But I was thinking if I fix that up, I'll leave this stock, and then that'll give us a good comparison, you know, to see how a stock 500i is up against a stock 462, and then I can port this one, then I can port that 462 as well. I think that I'm interested to see how that turns out. That's the newest 620 that I did, with that single 1-inch outlet on the side where I cut the top of the muffler and gutted it. Then I went back in and pulled that jug off, 2 times, and played with the intake timing on it. I've got it dialed in where I'm pretty happy with it. And then my buddy Indiana Doug, he's been wanting a 620 for a long time, so I'm doing a deal with him. This makes the 5th one I have, so I don't really necessarily need it, and he'll probably treat it better than I would anyway, because otherwise I'd just get thrown into my my firewood saws and get all beat up. But we're working out a deal, and he's getting that. I'm hoping he's gonna love it. Should make a nice soft first collection, as it is brand new. The only running it's done's been on the channel and a little bit behind the scenes of testing and tuning on it. And for you guys wondering, that carb is still bone stock on that. I didn't do nothing with that nozzle on this carburetor. That carb's bone stock. All I did was pop the red caps off, slice the tabs off, put it back on, make the carburetor a little bit more adjustable. It still has that semi-fixed high jet nozzle that some people JB weld over. I typically, if I change them, I knock them out and put a new one in. I've got a Husqvarna part number around here somewhere. It's only like a $6 part. But that carb's still a bone stock. It seems to be running great, so I'm not gonna mess with the carburetor. I mean, if later on in the future, if Doug thinks it needs to be leaned up more or whatever, I think we can deal with that down the road. But typically, if I can get this, you know, I think that nozzle problem is only for people in real high elevations. I think I've done lots of 590s and 620s, and I've got one floating around here. I did do it too, just to experiment on, but typically I don't need to mess with the carburetor on them. And I hear other people have all kinds of problems with them, so I don't know. It's kind of got me baffled. I don't know if it's how I pour it, or, you know, typically, you know, one of my ported saws consumes more fuel, so I end up having to give it more fuel anyway. And I hear other people are going the other way where they gotta lean them out. So I don't know. It's got me baffled. Trying to think. Got a 460 down there that I fixed up for a logger buddy, and his 394 there, waiting for parts to come in for them, and I can get them out of here. I do have, you know, like I said, I port for a hobby. I do have room where I'd probably take on 2 2511s. I'd probably take on 2 7310s, and I'd probably take on 2 501s or 4910s. If you guys are interested in that, get a hold of me through Messenger and Facebook. That's about the only way to really get a hold of me. It's not that hard to do. And see if we could work something out. Like when I do take on work outside of people that I don't know or whatever, it's it's here and there. I don't do it a whole lot, but I don't know. I'm kind of personally running out of saws to port, and I want to keep some content going on for the channel, and so if I do it, I typically don't take on more than 5 saws, 5 or 6 saws, because I don't want that overwhelming feeling of being buried in work or whatever, if that makes any sense, guys, because then it's not fun. I like to keep it fun. I'm just a hobbyist having fun, but I'm prepared to take on. I had a lot of fun doing these, and like I said, I got a new one coming that I'll be doing too, but I'd be willing to take on probably 22511s, 27310s, and 24910s or 501s, whichever. The 4910 and 501's the same saw in my book. So if that's something you guys are interested, look me up on Facebook Messenger. If not, it's not no big deal. Stuff seems to always pile up. Once spring gets here, porting's probably going to slow down. I'll probably take on here and there, but I want to get. I got so much trees and stuff to cut up. I got to get on the tree work, and I want to make you guys some videos of that. And probably what I'll work on tonight, unless that saw comes in, probably work on cleaning my shop. It's getting grubby again. So I just thought I'd post that, and thanks for sitting through with me babbling on here. You guys have a good day.